Yes. Hannah, your microphone facing some issue. There is a lot of static coming. Microphone is still issue. Still no Hannah. We cannot hear. Okay. Anyways, yesterday we discussed vegetative propagation, a method called vegetative propagation, and budding. Okay. Vegetative propagation and budding were the two methods we discussed in yesterday's class. Now today we will talk about fragmentation and sporogenesis. It's still bad, Hannah. You can just keep it off. It's still a lot of static. So for now you can just keep it off. Okay. If there's any doubt or a question, you can just type it to me in the chat box, Hannah. Okay. If there is any question, just type it to me. All right. Fragmentation. Now, some plants multiply through a process called fragmentation. Now, you might have seen the clusters of slippery green material in ponds and ditches, in maybe swimming pools which are very old and haven't been cleaned. You must have seen green things on the sides of it, on the walls or some ponds, on the walls of some ponds around it. Some material, some green slippery material. Okay, that is known as Spirogyra algae. Okay, that is called Spirogyra algae. It is a form of algae, and its name is Spirogyra. This algae grows rapidly in the presence of water and light. Okay, it grows, multiplies in the presence of water and light. Okay, now water also stagnant water. They multiply in stagnant water, means water which do not move. Okay, how do they reproduce? It reproduces through a process called fragmentation. Okay, an algae, it divides itself into two or more fragments. Okay, it divides itself into fragments. You can see here. Okay, fragments. It divides itself into fragments. Like this is the structure. Okay, so it will divide itself into another fragment like this, and then another fragment like this. Okay, so fragments, it keeps dividing itself into fragments, and this keeps on repeating, and the algae covers the whole water. Okay, if it is not cleaned, it covers the whole water. This process keeps on repeating. Okay, fragmentation. Then we have another process called sporogenesis. Okay, sporogenesis. Have you ever seen those white color flowers which we blow like that and they fly away like small, thread like things are there? A
Dandelion.
ball like flower it is. Yes, Eva?
Dandelions.
Yes. Yes. So that ball like flower on which we blow and the small fragments just fly in the air, that method is known as sporogenesis. Okay. In some plants, for example, fungi, fern, algae, etc., the reproduction takes place by spores. Fungi grow on flatbread if kept at a moist place. From where and how does this fungal growth takes place on flatbread? Reproduction in fungi takes place through spores. The fungi on the flatbread are black structures. These are sporangium. Okay, these small structures present are known as sporangium. Spores are formed in sporangium. It is the outer layer. When the outer layer ruptures and many spores are released everywhere, these spores are very light, so they are carried away in the air. Okay, and the air carries them to far off places. They are covered with a hard outer layer, and this layer protects them from high temperature, low temperature, etc. So when they will fall now, if that place favorable condition is there, means the correct temperature, water, and soil is there, they will form a new plant. Okay, they will form a new plant. Those small things that fall away, that fly away. Okay, they when they'll fall, if that place temperature is right, suitable for them, then they will start to grow into a new plant. Okay, so those are known as the spores germinate in favorable condition, giving rise to new organism. This method is known as sporogenesis. Any doubt in fragmentation and sporogenesis? Any doubt in that? No? Okay. Questions are there? Questions we will do as homework. This is today's homework for you. Okay. Questions are today's homework for you. Sexual reproduction. Now, the flowers play an important role in sexual reproduction because the sexual organs of plants are present on the flowers. Okay. Plants also have reproductive organs. Okay. They are divided into two categories: male reproductive organ, named as androecium, and female reproductive organ, named as gynoecium. In plants, the male reproductive organs are known as androecium. The female reproductive organ in plants are called gynoecium. Okay. Now, with reference to the reproductive organs, flowers are of two types. Now see, in some flowers, only either they will have androecium or they will have gynoecium. Okay. In some flowers, they will either have androecium or gynoecium. Only one of it. Okay. So those are known as unisexual flowers. Okay. Those types of flowers are called unisexual flowers. Examples are maize, papaya, cucumber, gourd, etc. These are all unisexual plants. Then you have bisexual flowers. Now in some flowers, both the androecium and gynoecium are present in the same flower. Okay, in the same flower, both the androecium and gynoecium are present. Those types of flowers are known as bisexual flowers. Okay, examples are mustard, hibiscus, rose, sunflower. They are all bisexual. Okay. Male and female unisexual flowers may be present on the same plant or on different plants. For example, in papaya, male and female flowers are present on different plants. So some of the papaya plant will be androecium, some will have gynoecium. Okay. And in maize and hibiscus and rose, the androecium and gynoecium will be present. Some flowers that have androecium, some have gynoecium, and both will be present in the same plant. Okay. We will understand androecium and gynoecium. Okay. This has come in one chapter before. So I know you have a little bit of an idea, but we will do it again. Okay. This came in one of the previous chapters. Now see. Now, in each type of flower, the number of stamen is different. The stamen consists of anther and filament. In this flower diagram, you can see these structures. Okay, these structures which have a thin stem and a bulb-like thing on top. Okay, this is the male reproductive part of the flower. Okay, this is known as stamen. This thing is known as stamen. In the stamen, this top part is known as anther. And this stem part is known as filament. Okay. This whole thing is called stamen. The top part is called anther. The stem part is called filament. Okay. So this is what? This is a male flower reproductive organ. Okay. Male flower reproductive organ. Now, anther is a small sac-like structure which contain pollen grains. Okay, now the male egg that is in the flowers called pollens. Okay, in the flower it is known as pollen. So this anther is filled with small grains called pollen. Okay, uh, these pollen grains form the male gametes. Okay, the pollen grains form the male gametes. Okay, then we have gynoecium. Now you can see in this diagram. You can see in this diagram this center portion. You can see this center portion. Okay, this is the female reproductive part of the flower. Okay, the center portion. This looks like this. Okay, the gynoecium. Okay, now it has three parts. It has three parts: ovary, style, and stigma. Ovary, style, stigma. Okay, inside the ovary, it looks like this: a small, and then ovules. So these things that are present inside these small seed-like things are called ovules. Okay, ovules are present in the ovary. These are the female flower eggs. Okay, ovules, and the male flower has your pollens. Okay, the male flower has pollens. The female part, the gynoecium has ovules. Okay, it has ovules. Female gametes or ova are found in the ovules. All right, ovule, ova, female gamete, same thing. All right. Now, understood in a flower which part is the anther, which part is the stamen, which part is the this thing, which part is gynoecium, which part is androecium. Understood? Okay. Take a flower of hibiscus and mustard. It's not working.
Excuse me,
Hannah.
ma'am.
Now say
Excuse me.
yes. I can hear now, Hannah.
Ma'am, you said some plants have different, some plants have only male gametes and others only female gametes. Ma'am, how
Yes.
do reproduction take place?
How do reproduction take place? There are two types of sexual reproduction in flowers. One is self pollination and cross pollination. We will study
Ma'am,
about
I
it
have a
further.
question.
Yes.
Ma'am, you said in some plants only male.
Yes, Hannah. Yes, I got your question. I understood. Hope you are able to hear me, Hannah. Are you able to hear me? There are two methods. Can you hear me, Hannah?
Ma'am, how do reproduction take place if there are separate?
Can you hear me, Hannah?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. There are two methods: cross
Yes, ma'am.
pollination and self pollination. Okay. In the next topic, we will study how this takes place, how this reproduction happens. Okay. So I will explain both the methods to you in the next topic. Okay. Now see. Let's read this activity. Take flowers of hibiscus or mustard and find androecium or gynoecium. Study the various parts of androecium and gynoecium. In sexual reproduction, zygote is formed after the fusion of the gametes, but the fusion of male and female gametes takes place only when the pollen reach the ovule. Let us understand how does the pollen grains reach the ovule. So why or how does they reach the ovule? That is what we will discuss now. Pollination. Now, pollen grains reach the ovule through the stigma. Okay, that tube-like structure, they fall in the tube-like structure and reach the ovary. This transfer of pollen grain from the anther to the stigma is called pollination. In humans, this is called fertilization. In plants, it is called pollination. Pollen grains are lightweight. They reach the stigma carried by air, water, or stuck by the body of insects. When bees and insects come sit on the flower, okay, butterflies and all, they suck the nectar and they move to the other flower. So the grains transfer from one flower to the other, or through water, or through air, water, or insect. They transfer from one flower to the other. Okay, generally, pollen grains are covered by a strong envelope, which saves them from desiccation, means saves them from breaking. Okay, now, this is very important, self-pollination and cross-pollination. Okay, and this is important. Now, what happens in self-pollination when the pollen of anther will fall in the stigma of the own flower? Okay, when the pollen of anther will fall in the stigma of the own flower, this is called self-pollination. Okay, own flower, self-pollination. Another method is cross-pollination. When the anther, when the pollen from this anther will go to the stigma of that flower, okay, will go to the stigma of that flower. This is known as cross-pollination between two flowers. Okay, between two flowers. When one flower pollen goes to some other flower's ovary, this is called cross-pollination. So through cross-pollination, it will reach another flower. Okay, Hannah, from like one flower's anther, it will reach to the gynoecium flower. Okay, so that is how they will reproduce. Okay, so the reproduction, we will get fruit as a result. This ovary this expands, or like expands, it becomes bigger, expands into a fruit. Okay, and when it expands to a fruit, that fruit grows, ripens, and gives us seeds. That seed, when we will plant them, we will get a new plant. Okay, after pollination, yes, Eva.
Ma'am, like after, like, don't you need like one female gamete and one male gamete to reproduce?
One, yes, Eva, female gamete and male gamete, that's right. Okay, so the pollens are small things that fall inside this ovary. Okay, and then when they merge together, they will form what? A fruit. They will form a fruit. Okay, when they form a fruit, that fruit will grow and ripen, and it will give us seeds. Okay, and those seeds, when we plant, we will get a new plant. Okay, that is how getting a new plant works. Okay, through sexual reproduction. Like sexual reproduction is different, getting it from the stem, getting it from the leaves, okay, stealing it from a relative. That is all your asexual reproduction in plants. But sexual reproduction is this. Okay, cross pollination, self pollination, pollination. This is how new plants are grown. Now, any other questions? Any other doubts? Anything else? No? Okay. All right. So, this is a diagram of fertilization. Okay. Now, yes. So in plants also it is called fertilization. Okay. In plants also, pollination means fusion. and the formation of zygote called fertilization in plants also. Okay, in plants also, and the zygote develops into an embryo in plants, which is actually a fruit. All right, which is actually a fruit. Now the last few topics are left of the chapter: development of fruit and seed, dispersal of seed, and yes, that's it. So what we'll do is we will stop here for today. Okay, we will stop here for today. 15 minutes more you have to revise. At 1 p.m., I will send the paper. Okay, at 1 p.m., I'll be sending the paper. So you can submit it by today. Please try to submit it by today evening. If by any chance today evening you are busy, then maximum tomorrow. Okay, deadline tomorrow. Tomorrow, though, you have to submit that. Like the final deadline tomorrow. All right. So that's it for y'all today, and all the best for the maths exam. See you all then. Bye bye. Have a good day.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye. What question, Hannah? Let me see, Hannah, and I'll text you. Okay. Let me see, and I will message you.